did you find this passion? Why cooking?
I was 8th grade, 9th grade, and they say, hey kid, what do you think you want to do with the rest of your life? And I was a little fat stoner that wanted 2 lunches. I said, culinary arts, please.
Back then, simple but hard life. Now it's complicated but easy life.
I literally
Don't worry
just
about it
lit
too
this
much.
whole place up with my energy.
You touch the table with love, lights come on.
Hip hop was first coming in the 90s. Everybody was so original. If you came out after Wu-Tang came out and sounded like them, they would come see you. But now everybody's trying to bite everybody, dude. The world has turned into a huge human centipede.
When God gives us that love, the Holy Spirit comes in, we want to give away that love.
If Jesus was sitting next to you right now, what would you say to him? Yeah, that's the first thing you'd say.
Great answer,
What
love
would
it.
you ask?
Hello guys, welcome back to another episode of the Bros Think Big. We have Christian Ferrari in the house. As we promised, this guy right here is on. How you doing, Christian?
How you doing, man?
Doing
Good to
amazing,
see you,
bro.
fellas.
Good to see you, bro.
Good to see you,
Bring the mic
fellas.
close.
Good to see you, fellas.
Yeah, the handshakes.
Wonderful to see you, fellas.
A little far by, it's
As
alright.
some of you might know, Christian is our very, very close friend, our brother in Christ. Amen to
Beautiful.
that. He's a 34-year-old master chef. That's what I want to call you, bro. You are a master chef.
I've seen
You
it
ain't
happen.
lying. It's all right.
If you've seen the
I
work,
ain't
you
gonna
know.
say it,
If
but
you've
you
seen the
can
work,
say
you
it.
know. He has a 2 decades experience of cooking. He started cooking when he was 14. Is that correct?
Yeah, professionally.
Yeah, 14. And just the fact, like, I really want to point out that you don't even look 34, bro. I want to give you that props because look,
Yeah.
like you literally look our age.
Give that one to God.
And-
He made me.
Yeah. And the natural herbs that you
Yeah.
take, right?
And he made my mother a doctor of nutrition and a holistic
Exactly.
medicine practitioner. So I've been
Amen,
eating
yeah.
flowers and tree bark my whole life. So
All his work,
Take your
yeah.
vitamins, get good skin. Hear that, kids?
And a future stand-up comedian. You guys will know in this episode that he's got this stand-up comedian in him. If you haven't noticed yet in our previous episode. So I want to kind of do a little catch-up with you. How you been?
Sounds
What you've been up
wonderful,
to
brother.
lately? How's your life been, man?
It's pretty good, man. I can't complain. I'm pretty blessed as of late, dude. I'm working a job I enjoy, and it was a job that I worked in the past, and it's
you're amazing at what you're doing.
Nice, man. And I don't know. I'm doing well. My family's doing well. I've been going to church a lot more. It's something
Amen.
I told myself that I wanted to do again. Like I went to church a lot when I was younger, and I had a long falling off period where, not that I fell away from God, but I just fell into the world more than I should have. And these boys coming into my life really helped me
Thank you, bro.
back up my spiritual journey. So I appreciate it. Woke that part of my brain back up a little bit.
And you help
Because-
us a lot to walk on that path.
Absolutely.
Because, like I said in the beginning of this episode, brothers in Christ, we all help each other to be on that spiritual journey and on that spiritual path
Absolutely.
together. And one thing that I really want to mention is I feel like you are one of those people that I can definitely say that you have a career and a place that you work at that you truly love.
Yeah.
And you're good at what you're doing.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people are not in that specific place in their life where they have found something that they're, one, good at, and two, are so passionate and in love with what they're doing. You're cooking with love. You're not just cooking, bro.
Yeah.
You're cooking
That's
with
true.
love.
That's the
Not
secret
just in the
ingredient,
kitchen,
bro.
but outside of the kitchen. And that is your secret
Yeah.
ingredient
close.
that a lot of people don't even have any idea about. It's almost like some people don't look that far into cooking. It has to do with love. They say, oh yeah, put in these ingredients, cook well, get this done. But in reality, it all comes down to
Well, that's the difference between like someone that cooks with love and someone that doesn't. Like say I was given the same ingredients as somebody that's been cooking as long as me and has the exact same knowledge, basically.
Yeah.
You know, the exact same
Right.
technical knowledge.
yeah,
But say we're cooking for somebody, I literally love the fact that when I'm cooking, that's when I think my food tastes good, because I know that I'm about to nourish another human, which is beautiful. I know I'm about to make their soul smile through the warmth of my love into the food.
Yeah.
And I know I'm happy, and these are the things going through my mind as I'm cooking, and that translates to the food. Now, dude that I'm cooking next to, I don't want to say like, this is all hypothetical, of course, but like say he cares about winning. Say it's like some kind of competition, even if it's not, like say he wants it to be better, or he just even like had a bad day. I'll never put my bad day into my food, because it's not fair for that person. You know what I mean? And then you could, if people are cooking in a kitchen and you can see them, like you can, sometimes you can see people throw hate into it when they're frustrated. I will walk up to one of my employees and be like, please stop throwing hate into this pasta salad, because I want people to enjoy it. Thank you.
Yeah,
So
dude, that's
something
what I'm
like
saying.
That's really the secret. You could give two people the same ingredients and they could have the same knowledge, but what kind of vibes are you pushing into your product?
And one of your quotes is, if you're going to do something in life, do it good.
Right.
Don't be on the fence. Don't just be half foot in, half foot out, the goal in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that is an important one.
Rider, man.
How did you find this passion in cooking? And why cooking? Out of everything.
I don't even know. Like, literally, I, just like many people, I was 8th grade, 9th grade, and they say, hey, kid, what do you think you want to do with the rest of your life? And you're like, whoa, what are you talking about, man? Like, I love how they make kids, like, if they're going to do something like technical or tech school, or like, even if they, like, they got to take classes towards college, like, you make someone that doesn't even understand the world that much, or know what they like, or know what fires them up personally, and they're like, yo, this is what you're gonna need to study and go towards, just because.
But it
money
is
or
also a
whatever.
very important question to get their minds already thinking about, okay, what do I love doing?
This is very true.
It's just the steps that they will lead them to take.
But I feel like a lot of people get locked in too. You know what I mean? And then they're locked into something they don't. It's like, and then it's like, oh, I'm studying this.
Kind of like brainwash them into thinking that that's their passion, but in reality, that's just what they grew up with.
But I digress. I felt that pressure, and for some reason I was at that point in my life, I was a little fat stoner that wanted 2 lunches. So I said, culinary arts, please. I said, culinary arts, please. And I was like, oh, cool, I'll get 2 lunches. And that's cool, man. And then just it so happened that when I picked up a knife, I had a gift. I just clicked with that art very well, personally.
That's amazing. Kind of want to trace it back to your old life too, because I know in our first episode we talked about this, but some of our viewers may not know that, is some of your addictions that you went through. Was that the time that you weren't in the culinary arts and doing stuff in the kitchen, or when was this time period? Was that after or before or during? Kind of on and off?
All throughout life.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ever since you were 14, you went to cooking right away and just started doing it professionally.
It was the one good thing in my life that was like an outlet, because at that point in my life, I was very chaotic socially. Okay. So it gave me something to focus on and be disciplined on and care, and maybe where I felt like I didn't have that much value as a human at that time, it gave me purpose. And it's like, oh, if you're not doing the things you're supposed to be doing in life, at least you're getting better at something. So ultimately, that's what pulled me out of my whole funk. Is I'm blessed because even though through all the things that I was doing that I shouldn't have been doing, I still was at least doing one thing right. And instead of thinking about it like, oh, all I have is this one thing in life and everything else I do is shit, I go, everything I'm doing is shit. Or everything I'm doing is whack. Excuse my language. But thank God I'm blessed with this thing that I do have. Let me focus on this and not care about these things and make all these other things easier to melt away. And let me glorify just let me glorify God and myself and my life
In what you're
through doing what I said, cooking with love and nourishing other humans
Amen.
and other souls and other children of God and making them smile, man.
Good for you, bro. Where did that concept of cooking with love come from? Like straight away when you started cooking, it was just like you were pouring this love into it.
I did.
When did that concept come in?
It just came over time because just like with the way people react to my food or whatever, and I'm just like, they're like, what do you do? I'm like, I don't know, bro. I'm happy to make it for you though. And it's just like this is a conclusion that I've come to over time. That
For sure.
it must be that because like the scenario I told you, like the hypothetical scenario I told you about in the very beginning. I've had situations like that happen where like I'm using the same things against the same people. Why is mine better?
Exactly. It's
It
got
has
to be
that.
that secret ingredient.
Yeah.
Love.
Christian, have you ever had a situation where somebody didn't like your food?
Of course.
Can
Had
you,
to,
tell us,
right?
can you tell us a story of that, or
There's
Something like that.
always time. There's always mistakes in restaurants, and there's always people that there's sometimes people don't know what they're ordering, or sometimes
They don't know.
Something
They
gets
don't know what they're
burnt.
talking about.
yeah. I mean,
Or
no,
you
they
mess
don't
up.
like when I
No, they don't know what they're talking about.
humans.
They must have
humans-
taste buds.
If they don't like my food, they don't have taste buds, and Mike is correct. I'm just a little bit humble, but
But where are the mistakes?
there's always life. Life gets lifey, and humans get mistakey all the time.
I like how you did that.
The thing is, I don't take anything personal in this world because I know my intentions in my heart. And so if someone doesn't like my food, I say, number one, I learned a lesson because obviously something that I did, I could learn from. And
Right.
number two, I say, what's wrong? Tell me about it. How can we fix this experience? And next time I cook for them, it's going to be better.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Because
If someone
that's
doesn't
what
like my food, I'll never get offended, bro. I'll
Yeah, you
learn.
can't. Because that's the thing with failure is one thing that you need to learn from failure, all of us in life, is that failure is there to make us better, not make us worse. And it has to be there. And it's necessary to have a healthy relationship and develop a healthy relationship as you grow up to actually kind of fall in love with failure. Because that's how you learn. If you're not failing, that means you're not pushing yourself to the limit to fail. That's one. And two, you think you're so good that you don't even recognize the failures that you actually do. You think you're so good. That's when you're stagnant and you're not even growing. Like it can be as subtle as that.
Couldn't say it better myself, brother.
What about did you ever choose a different path at all? Other than cooking? Because when you're a kid, you're curious about many things. You're interested in so many
Hey, Christian, come
things. and
towards
you're
us a little bit more in the share.
Honestly, to this day, I still don't like I still feel like I'm called for a greater purpose in this world. So I need cooking is great. I don't know if it's gonna be a hobby or it's gonna be what I'm gonna do. You know what I mean? It's definitely gonna be part of what I do. It's definitely
what is a greater purpose?
I don't know. That's a greater question.
But so you're saying no. This is perfectly fine. So you know that, and you have a feeling that you are called to do something greater outside of cooking.
Yeah.
And involves cooking, or what is it?
Probably. I have a million dreams, man. I would
Take
love,
us through them, bro.
Let's see.
I'd love to hear it.
Recently, I mean, I've always had my dream is to be able to work in a spot where I would be going anyway if I wasn't working. I want to create a restaurant and / environment where I can hire all of my friends and we all can friggin' do God's work and make people smile and do everything wonderfully. But that's where we'd want to be anyway. We get out of work and we're already there chilling. You know what I mean?
House type of
it's just
situation,
yeah.
as well as something that you serve the food at,
Yeah.
right?
I just
Something like
want.
No, I think it's really important. I'm sorry to cut you off and
Oh,
stuff like
no,
that because
dude,
every time
please.
I either worked in the kitchen with you guys and stuff like that, after let's say were working at the neck, right? And we just went through like a really, the boards filled with orders. We just got done everything. We all got closer through that, right? We all got closer to that adversity. Like, even like with these guys, after like the podcast, we have like tough times. The bond gets stronger. We want to do it even more. Like that, it's the commitment gets stronger after facing adversity all together.
Dude, that's beautiful right there. Like, that is awesome. It's like, I always like the relationships I build with people in kitchens. It's like you've been through war with them.
That's why you're here right now, bro.
Like,
right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
dude.
Do you guys ever have that type of moment?
Exactly.
In your lives? In the kitchen?
You're wonderful to work with
right
in
here.
the kitchen.
What do you mean?
No. Did you ever have a moment in the kitchen where it was like that?
Oh, like
millions
what?
of
Like
moments
clashing
all
heads
the
at all?
time, bro.
No, like what do you mean, like fight with each other? No. I'm saying with,
I
like,
thought you meant like crunch time, like crunch time stuff.
Like
where
when
you're
there's
just
so
knocking
many
it out.
orders on the board. And like when it's super busy,
yeah, the
everyone's
teamwork,
like
right?
stressed. Everyone's just like doing their work,
Yeah.
doing God's work, like serving food, right? We're all there together, going through that adversity. That's what I meant. Like we're solving a problem, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
versus when we
And you're together.
It makes
Exactly.
it creates a huge
not
bond.
against each other. No,
Yeah.
Okay.
Nah.
that's what I meant.
Because it can happen in the kitchen. It's like, yo, bro, you burned this, or it's like, yo, you got to do a better
Nah,
job,
dude.
or like, yo, you need to hustle a little bit more. That type of stuff,
Yeah,
right?
if I'm running the kitchen, it's not like that. Like, cause like say somebody burns something, do it again. Just knock it out
Yeah.
again. Just make sure it doesn't go out to the customer. I don't like when people beat people down for mistakes.
That's a healthy
That makes
relationship
me
with
so
a failure itself.
angry, bro. And then always, if you're ever managing a team of people and you need to like say something about somebody's work, always praise in public and scold in private.
What's that?
Does that make sense?
Of course, 100%.
Yeah, because if you praise, always praise in public, anything anybody does good, of course, if you give them accolades and give them their flowers, number one, they'll feel great. Number two, it's genuine. Number three, everybody else around them sees that and will hold to esteem. And then,
Right.
but if you scold in that same environment, that's messed up because the exact opposite will happen. And in fact, and then everybody else around them will be like, yeah, you're like this. And then
Even
you
though
get
they
that
might
group
not have any
mentality.
idea.
So if you have something with somebody, you meet them on the side and say, man, I appreciate whatever you're doing. Be like, this happened like this. How can we not make that happen? Or, hey, do this like this. And then don't just tell somebody, do this like this because I said so. Explain to them.
Teach them.
Explain to them why we want to do it like this and why it will come out like this and why it will be better and why it will make your life easier and mine.
100%. Because it's like there's so many things that you can find in somebody that is so good as far as the skill goes and the personality that they put into their work, that when you praise them in public, it actually gives them esteem that actually I am good at what I'm doing. Like there's this good side of me.
It's validation.
Exactly, it's validation. But then in private, it's like, all right, what are the problems that I need to work on type of thing. It's like when you're alone, that's when you need to put in the most work type of thing. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So when you're alone and you get scolded like that, you're like, all right, bro, I really need to step up because there are some things that I'm good at, but whoa, there is some things that I definitely need to work on. So that's the perspective that it gives that person, which is amazing.
Exactly. I like what you said, like the things you work on like alone, like the important things, because it's like you will get like a huge moment of accolades for something that you worked so hard for years in solitude. Like
100%.
you know what I mean? And all of a sudden it's like, oh, I've been doing this for that. And it's like, it's cool.
You know what's another thing? You have experience with not just cooking yourself in the kitchen, but now being a person who teaches other people cooking. And that's a whole different level.
How did you know I try to cook myself all the time? Because all my burns?
No. And the nails, right? From the knife. But, yeah, it came back on.
The power thing is on your side over there, Christian.
Probably.
So just be cautious about that.
That's all good, bro.
Don't move.
I literally
Don't worry
just
about it
lit
too
this
much.
whole place up with my energy. Did you guys see that?
Yeah,
that was
that's
on
what- that's
camera.
what it was.
Just
That was with love. Ready?
that
You
was on
touched,
camera.
you touched the table with love.
Yeah.
Lights come on.
Blue.
That's the secret ingredient in everything you do, bro. Love.
Hey,
So the point
that's
I was
the
trying
secret
to...
ingredient to life.
Amen. Amen. It is.
Love is the
that is what
secret
Jesus Christ
ingredient
taught,
to
brother.
life.
Love. Gave love.
Yo,
Taught love.
Moved
with love.
One of my favorite things about Christianity is the fact that unconditional love is the main idea behind it. Exactly. Unconditional love is a beautiful thing.
And that is what got it. That's what brought God down into human flesh.
Yeah.
Is love. That unconditional love. That humbling. And just so many more that we will get to later on. But I just wanted you to share your perspective, because I think being good at something is one thing, but being able to communicate that to other people and teach them is a whole different skill that you need to develop. Patience, communication skills, because it's like you can be good at a sport, but then when it comes to coaching somebody that specific sport, you might be very, very bad at.
Exactly.
And you need to work on that type of stuff. So kind of take us through that experience too. What was that like?
From being good at something to learning to being a sensei of something.
Good at sensei, yep.
Yeah. I'm still learning to this day. I learn I know enough to know that I always get to learn, and that's beautiful. Now, people that say, yes, I know I know everything. If anybody ever tells you, yes, I know everything about this topic and I can make your dreams come through, like I'm so knowledgeable, literally look at them strange, turn around and run away. Because they're a demon.
I'll write that down.
I wouldn't put it like that, but
Yeah. Because,
That's kind of like them
no
taking
one
so
knows
much pride that they know everything.
You're never
in
done
reality,
with
they don't
knowledge
really
in
know
this
anything.
world, bro. But
Because in reality, don't you think that that's when they would really not know much? Because the more look, here's the thing. I think this is a very simple thing that I realized recently, actually, is the more you know, the more you don't know. It's just as simple as that. The more you understand so many things around you, the more you actually know that there's so many things that you don't know. That's what you learn with the relationship with God, bro.
Wiped from your eyes, the more you can see.
Yeah.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
Wild.
And that's why I love our Sunday services too, is when we start from the Genesis, that's when you see the most there, is that you see the power of God, and it makes you understand who you really are.
Yeah.
Like you're looking down and you see your nakedness type of situation.
Absolutely.
You see who you truly are. And that is what makes you humble, is that relationship with God and understanding that you really don't know anything and you need to learn so much humbly. When you talk to somebody, no matter how much you think and have the evidence to know that you know more than them, there's just so many things that you can learn only if you open up your mind to learning more. That's all.
No, yeah, of course. The only reason why I said I want to put it in that way is because, like, turning back and running away from them is you're not, like, teaching them what is right and how to kind of, like, balance that thinking of, like, I know everything, and
that is a good perspective.
That's why I love talking to you.
Yeah.
You guys always got a flip perspective on me, and I appreciate that.
But
it's
I understand you made a joke too about it.
Yeah.
But.
I was making a joke. I wouldn't. So I wouldn't run. I would stand there and just pillar on them and be like, "Do you know not what you do? Do you know not what you see?"
And then you would test them on it?
Yeah. No, I don't know, dude. I don't know what I'd do. I'd probably spontaneously combust or something.
What is combust?
Explode.
Like fire. Christian, I want to say too, because back to
love.
Yeah, I'll explode my love all over them. Pause. All right.
Do you feel like you learn, like, because what I found, like, when I really want to, like, get really good at something, the best way for me to learn is to be able to teach it. Yeah. The more that I teach it and, like, I either walk someone through it, or if I speak it, the more that I understand. If I understand what I'm talking about, right? Because if you can just come out and say it and give advice on it and, like, explain it well, that's how you kind of, like, almost know that you kind of understand it in a sense. Like, do you feel like you learn more when you teach?
So what you just said, thank you for saying that. Number one, it's very true. The best thing about teaching is you validate the things you know and you learn further, because, like, watching other people learn things, they might do something different. You're like, wow, I never thought about it like that. And you could, like, see the way they could, because, especially with cooking and different types of arts, like culinary arts, there is different ways to get to the same endpoint, but the techniques to do so are the knowledge, you know what I mean? And then to know what techniques to place where, and that can be, put anywhere in life. But yes, teaching helps you learn so much further. And patience. Like when you're really good at something and you become like you have an expertise, that's when you really need to check your ego as much. I think teaching helps you check your ego instead of just being like some kind of like competitor or some kind of contender. You're now
like keeping the information away. Like, I'm not going to teach you.
Never
Go figure it out.
gatekeep information, man. That's information gatekeepers, dude. I don't want to go on a side rant of that, but
No, I don't think you would be.
no, you
Because
can't
that is
do
that
that,
is an
bro.
interesting one. There are a lot of people that, and at some point, I'll be honest, I was that type of person too. It's like when you know, and especially when you are a business owner and stuff, you really understand that you want to at some point kind of keep the information as if somebody else is going to steal it.
Right.
But you never know. They might already know what you know, but you're just hiding it for what?
So here's the thing. I think if people hide information, that means they're scared somebody's gonna do what they're doing.
Better than them, right?
But if you're doing what you're doing to the highest of your capability and you know you're killing it, you will have no problem sharing any information with anybody because number one, you know that there's enough whatever is there to go around, and there's number two, you know that they're not gonna do it like you, they're gonna do it like them, and you know that you just help spread whatever you taught this further into the world, and they're gonna do it like them, which has its own beautiful uniqueness, and then you're still gonna do it like you, which is the original with its own beautiful uniqueness. Instead of trying to gatekeep and say, no, only I, which is the worst thing.
Exactly. And you're doing God's work when you do that, when you share. Because when he gives you that gift, the ability to go as far as coming up with an idea that is very good to the point where now you want to keep it. That's just you kind of not wanting to share that gift, right?
Yeah.
So same with when God gives us, we mentioned this with Eugene too, is when God gives us that love and he saves us and the Holy Spirit comes in, we want to give away that love. We don't want to just keep it and say, oh, I feel so in love and God loves me so much. I just want to, stay still and just do nothing and just absorb the love. No, you want to give away the love. You want to give away the light. Same with that
pours out
ability and the skill. Exactly. And when you have that God-given We're back. We had some technical difficulties, guys, as you saw. Something happened.
The power of love, I think it was, right?
Could be the power of love turned off. It's back
beautiful.
on. So, the point that I was trying to make with giving it away is, this is the example. When I realized this is when I really understood that there's no point of keeping anything. And this goes around with so many other topics too. But specifically, since we're talking about the ideas, right? You have a great idea. You keep it. God forbid you die. Now, people don't really know the ideas. And that idea could have impacted the world positively. Right? Mm-hmm. And you kept what? Nothing. You kind of took something good from the world because of your selfishness. And because of your selfishness, the great idea died with you, type of thing. Yeah. Because when the gift is given to you, share it. That's love.
Yes.
And when you have an understanding, that's why I think it's kind of crucial to, not kind of, it is crucial to believe in God, is because you understand that perspective that God gives you something as a blessing. Mm-hmm. So you give it back with blessing.
And
when you don't have that, that's the only thing you cling on to. I think
the one thing it boils down to people that if we're talking about sharing or not sharing information or in that situation, if like this person died and they had something that could have benefited the world, they literally let fear paralyze their thoughts.
Right.
To the point where they couldn't help the world. Love and selflessness, fear and selfishness.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think they're very
two different opposite things, and they can't coexist. You can't say when the Bible says too, you can't have fear and love together.
Yeah.
You can't serve two masters.
You can't have light in the dark, bro.
Exactly. Like those two things don't really align, and that's
How about
why
a healthy fear though? because we do talk about that, having the fear of like using the God's gift in the right way. That's still a fear. You know what I mean? Like that good fear of knowing that there's authority above you, and then having that fear that you shouldn't, like, you should try not to fail in that type of
regard. Yeah.
I have a healthy fear of God.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
And that can come from that healthy fear of God too, right? That you don't want to be selfish. You don't want to cling on to the gift that God gave you, something that you discovered in your path of life. You have that fear from God, of God, that you don't want to be selfish, because at the end of the day, you know that you're not really taking anything with you in reality. So I'm talking about the type of fear where, and I had this too, like I said, in the business, where if I had a good idea, this is what I'm going to do. And now I know a guy who also details. I'm not going to tell him that idea, because if he does it, then what am I going to do?
Exactly.
Or if he does it better. But that's just an awful fear, because you're not confident in your abilities. If you know your idea is so good, give it away. And you will see if it's a good idea.
Exactly.
If it's a good idea, you will see it. It will grow the fruit.
Let the world have it. See what the world does with it.
So I was gonna say too, because I was gonna ask you, Christian, because no one's really lacking knowledge. Like with the internet, there's so much information out there. Anyone can do anything. Like there's literally like roadmaps to getting rich, making money, finding your passion, finding God. People spread the gospel on the internet. You can watch any video you want, right? But how come people do not use this knowledge? How come people still don't walk that narrow gate? What do you think?
I love that. Walk the narrow gate. Narrow is the way, right, Michael? Wow.
I think I can say it better. Like, for example, when it's the whole idea, it's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them like swim. Even swim? Nope. You can't make a horse swim at all, right? You can't make them drink.
You probably can.
I stopped myself from dirty things.
Yeah. No, was there ever a point in your life where like you heard some stuff and you heard some information, but you didn't really want to follow through with it? Like either you heard like a nice quote, you heard some good advice, but you didn't go through with it. Your thoughts?
So I think yourself will make you ignore things that yourself is direly reaching out for, just because like a fear or your ego, or you like, I know people that like use like will read something 2 years prior and then read 2 years later, read it again, and it's a completely different meaning.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? It's like you grow and you change perspective and you change. I lost where I was going with the question.
So I think I know what you're saying, because like a couple of years ago, like when I look back at the stuff that I used to watch, like a lot of Andrew Tate content, I could kind of rewatch it now and have a totally new perspective and see so many different like things of value, but actually apply it. That's where I'm trying to get at. How come you think that people nowadays don't apply the information that they're given? Like, do you ever have moments in your life where you heard some good advice and you're just like you said, you deny yourself?
I think.
Why do you think that happens?
I think people deny information out of fear. I think people deny information out of complacency. I think they deny information out of self-doubt. I think they deny information from ignorance. And I think they deny information from fear of success. And I think there's also information overload, bro.
Yeah, confusion.
I think there's like it, and the way the information is being disseminated is effed up. I think
the way the information is spread is that way. Okay.
the way it's given, and how it's divvied out. And
Christian,
like,
do you mean,
have to look for?
Do you mean
specific
fear
things.
of success or fear of not being successful?
Well, say there's information that could make me successful.
Fear of success,
but I would ignore it. Why would I ignore it? Because I might have a deep-seated
But what would your fear for success?
You have never heard of the fear of success?
No.
It's not, because not many people actually want success. It comes with responsibility.
Yeah, just like freedom's not free.
Dude, come on. There's no
living in golden cages.
Everybody literally talks about being successful.
Well, the next question is what is success, right? That's the next question for some people. Some people.
Let's define it simple. What is success?
The thing, like, let's just tell someone, right? Everyone knows, like, okay, eating healthy, like going to the gym is right. Like, but how come people don't do it? They're not successful in that. If they know that's the right answer, if they know, okay, if I just eat healthier, if I go to the gym, if I stop doing drugs, if I wake up early, if I like get my life together, I'll be good, right? That I can be successful, but they don't do it. They have the success, they know what to do, but they still don't do it. That's like the idea. People are afraid of. There's something like it's not. I wouldn't call it afraid, but it's just pain, right? They have to face resistance.
Yeah.
I think they're afraid of feeling the pain that they have to do in order to get there because they're too comfortable.
It's the path that they're afraid of. Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's
I wouldn't put it that way, though.
is that how you?
Those people are just simply not disciplined. I mean, the example you said, people not going to the gym, has nothing to do with fear of like success. But they just don't want to do the work.
Yeah.
I just can't connect the thing with like how is it fear for
Maybe
why
it's
would you
not-
want to fear
How
for
about
success?
Chris? What did you mean by that?
By-
I think that will clarify. Yeah, fear of success.
Some people have so addicts will have fear of success. Here's a good explanation of fear of success from like an addict's point of view. So someone that has been an addict a long time in their life and they're trying to get over it, they don't trust themselves too well because obviously throughout life their impulses that they haven't been able to control have taken them in bad ways. So say they're recovering from that and they're finally going good with their life. And like they're being like they're having a job, and they're having they're being complacency in their recovery. Say they found a good spot. If they feel like they get past a certain spot, they feel like the success will bring out the demons in themselves again. You know what I mean? Fear of success, because when you get too much responsibility and you get too much money and you get too much power. All these things that come with success, you need to be disciplined or else it destroys you. That's a fear of success, not being able to handle the things coming at you. You feel it's
Because you're not ready for the responsibility yet, right?
It's a lack of self, like knowing you think
Self-esteem.
It's a lack of self-esteem. It's a lack of self-esteem.
Yeah. Did you ever have that type of moment in your life where you were afraid of success ever?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Did you know that you were gonna be? Well, I don't know if that's a good question. If you're ever gonna be successful, meaning like, because if you have the fear,
Have you ever heard
never
of a
have
golden cage, Georgie?
A what?
A golden cage.
A golden
you ever
cage?
heard of like
No.
the metaphor being trapped in a golden cage?
No.
Like maybe like a lot of like I'll use like an example of like say a rich and famous person's son or daughter, a child of like a rich and famous person.
Yeah.
This person has been given everything their whole life. They get whatever they want. They have horrible values. They probably addict, probably a sexual deviant. You know what I mean? But
they would rather be there
they
than
rather
become successful, so
they'd
that
rather
people know
be
them.
there. Like they can't. Like, and then eventually, when all these things happen, like you get old, and then all of a sudden you're sitting there and you know nothing else, and you never built anything up for yourself, and you never gave yourself any skills, and you never. So getting out of stepping out of that cage into the responsibilities of freedom and having to feel the reward of doing things for yourself in this world, which is like, you know, just living life and walking and starting your own family, starting your own life, getting your own place. You stay in this golden cage. That's where a fear of success
that's
can
more
come
that's
from.
more of having a fear of being famous, being popular, so that people
complacency.
because
Fear
you
of
said
complacency. You
There's
said
no fear of being famous. I didn't know what was that.
Come on. The same example you brought up, saying like, for example,
Well, yeah,
somebody's
yeah.
a soccer
No, yeah,
player.
you're
Let's
right,
say
you're right.
a soccer player, and then he has a kid, and his kid is almost like fearful of being in attention too much. Where there's like a lot of cameras, always recording him, always following him everywhere he goes. He almost has to be like not himself, because then everything can be taken out of context. The type of thing. In that case, I would say some people have that fear of being successful, being in that attention all the time. But because you can become famous doing some stupid things.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
A fear of
But
success comes from fear of responsibility, I think.
But success is far more like being disciplined and stuff like that than becoming famous, because you can do something stupid
Sure.
and you can become famous. You know what I mean? So
I do.
I would say maybe having a fear of success. I mean, fear of being famous. That
And
could
all
be a
these
thing,
fears
but-
I was telling you about are all irrational fear sprouted from fear, just not having God's love in your heart.
No, but I understand
being
what you're
lost
saying.
in this wicked
I just
world.
wouldn't
These
agree
are
with
all
that
things that can pop up.
too much though.
But then you see,
I
Georgie, he
completely
shared,
understand where
that
you're coming from.
Yeah, I do too. He shared this perspective of him personally having that fear of success because of lack of trust in himself and the lack of doubt that you will actually carry that goal till the end. And you are able to trust yourself with that much responsibilities on your shoulder.
Okay, but for example,
So,
if you're
how about we as Christian to kind of share that perspective if you're comfortable with?
Fear of failure is basically the same thing as fear of success, because people with fear of success are afraid of their inevitable failure because they're used to that. That'd probably help you think about it better.
Yeah, I think it comes down to you're afraid that you are not competent enough to be like worthy of the success. Like for example, right? If I say success for me is I'm coaching people, I'm training people. If you were to drop me, right, I'm making maybe like thousands of dollars a month. I'm coaching people. I have to be a leader. I have to post content, to do all these things. I might be afraid. That might be success to me, but I might be afraid of it because of the fact that I don't feel like right now I'm currently worthy of it. You can't drop me in there right now because of the fact that I think I'm going to fail that.
you have fear of success?
Not necessarily feel success, but
That's fun.
am I afraid of success? Am I afraid of achieving that right now? I wouldn't even call it fear. No.
What would you call it?
I'd say nothing. I wouldn't say it's anything, but I would say it's just resistance. You have to face resistance in order to get there. Sometimes I'm not really willing to obviously pay the price, but at the end of the day, I have to make that choice to pay the price. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No,
Okay.
exactly, dude. Everything you guys said makes sense.
Okay.
I just wouldn't put in that words, fear of success.
Yeah.
Listen, that's just how I would put it. That's not how I would put it.
That's
But
why I changed it for you.
But I understand where you're coming from, and I understand where you're coming from, and I understand the explanation of like you explaining that you don't trust yourself. I personally just wouldn't tell someone, if I were to tell them, yo, it's like people have that fear of success. I just want to put in that words. That's all.
Trust
but I
myself
understand what
now.
you guys are saying. Yeah.
Trust
Fear of
myself
failure,
now,
more
but
like, yeah.
definitely in the past, a little wobbly.
No, I definitely do see that point of view because, one, I've also listened to people who have been addicted to things in their life, and then they have a lot of fears that sometimes they don't even know where it's coming from, but they know it's there, type of thing. You know, when it's in your subconscious still,
Yeah.
But you know what's
and
another
you
thing?
live your life like that.
For example, if you are addicted to drugs, right, and you're not successful, right, but you are still able to at least make enough money, or you're in that, at least in a situation where you have enough money to buy drugs, how is that stopping you from, like, for example, if you do become successful, you're still going to be addicted to drugs. How is that why would you have the fear of success if you're just simply not disciplined enough to get away from the bad habits?
You just
Why would you be scared of
described
that?
what we call a living hell. That's what a living hell is. Somebody that is just completely dependent upon something that you don't want to be dependent upon, but it's still moving through the world like functional. It's called a functional addict, and it's literally hell because you're just a zombie going through your days like your own NPC. And then and then you need whatever you're dependent upon. So you're just working to be okay all the time, and it's the worst. So yeah, that's a living hell.
So I have a question too, because like when you mention like NPCs and stuff like that, a lot of people are dependent this day and age on external forces. They're dependent on their phone, validation. They're dependent on watching other people. They're dependent on so many things outside of themselves,
Absolutely.
not something internal. So my question to you is like, why do you think like, especially like young guys and stuff like that, like if you have a story as well, like are missing like that
Uniqueness?
they're like themselves, like they're missing themselves. They're missing like that passion, that drive, the motivation. They're missing like themselves. Like they don't know who they are. Like what are your thoughts on that? Why do you think people are missing?
Well, I don't want to be like an elder millennial about it.
What is that?
Like just my being
older.
my
You're
age,
like older in
yeah.
that generation.
Yeah, but
Old soul.
yeah, like if that's happened all the time in this world, but like when back in the day before there was social media, I think it was easier for people to be with themselves, and the comparison is out of this world right now. The way people compare, and the way people are trying to imitate, and the way like what's beautiful about being a human is you're a beautifully unique individual, and you
Different
can
from
express
others.
that. Everybody's different, but like, what's everybody try to do? Trend. Everybody wants to trend. Everybody wants to do what's trending. Who makes these trends? Who are these people? Who's putting trends lists together? Like, Joe Rogan used an example that when he did the Trump podcast, he was literally at one point getting 1 million views per hour, but it still wasn't trending. In fact, it was hard to find because people didn't want. So it's like, who's controlling these trends that are making all these people so confused and want to be this way? Sounds demonic to me, but don't worry about that. But
You're bringing up a very interesting perspective.
you know what I'm saying?
For sure.
But it's like,
Because
but back in the 90s, I'm going to use one little example, and then I'm going to...
Go for it.
So back in the 90s, you know how hip-hop now... Everybody's trying to do the same thing, same mumble rap. Everybody heard that sound and like, or heard the 808 bass drums. Everybody's trying to imitate the sound that they know makes money.
Reinventing the wheel just over and over.
Over and over again. Now, back in the day when hip hop was first coming, the 90s, that was the best era of hip hop because everybody was so original and everybody was very unique. But if you came out after Wu-Tang Clan or Biggie came out and you sounded like them, you would literally get a knock on your door and they would come see you. Like, why are you biting my style? You're biting my style. But now you're looking for, everybody's trying to bite everybody, dude. Like, the world has turned into a huge human centipede.
Yeah, I feel like it comes down to the reason people... they copy each other too is because it's easy, right?
Yeah.
It's easy to
already have an idea.
This guy has the results, right? And in some sense, like, I'm gonna actually give you a perspective on my comparison is actually can be good and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely.
But first, right? They look at other people and say, okay, here's the results I want, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to do exactly what he did. But guess what? Everyone's journey is so different. Everyone goes through the different shit. Everyone's a different human being. Everyone has different gifts. So yes, you can definitely learn and be wise from other people's journeys. That's how we all grow, right?
Right.
Standing on the shoulders of giants, right? As a quote I wanted to say earlier. But I'll read you the quote actually because I had it here.
Smart men learn from their mistakes and wise men learn from others.
Yeah, as you even said, I didn't get far because of my own, but standing on the shoulder of giants, right? Standing on other people's shoulders. That's how I got further, right?
Yeah.
But back to what I was saying, like
it's like your girlfriend. You put your girlfriend on your shoulders to see the concert.
Yeah, exactly. So she can actually see it, right?
Yeah.
So she can experience, right?
Yeah.
But where I was going with that is comparison itself, right? Like it can be very bad, right? Like comparing yourself and attaching your personality to other people's and trying to claim that. But like
mixing up the personalities almost to... I know exactly what you're saying because we talked about this many times. I think when we were talking about the whole thing with people not being able to find their passion, it comes from the lack of people understanding their uniqueness.
Yeah.
They don't understand that they're unique in the first place. If you don't know that you're unique, you're not going to do anything different. Because if you think that you are like every other person that is filming a video or making a podcast, you're going to do it exactly like them. And you're not going to think for yourself on how you can put your uniqueness in there. Therefore, you're not even kind of you're not even consciously feeding yourself the information that I can do something myself that's going to be different and better. You don't have that. You have this negative understanding that that person did it because they know it. I don't. Therefore, I need to go step by step on what they did. You can follow it. That's amazing. Somebody found something good. Follow it because there's so many positive things in this life that you can take from people. But when you go step by step, you lose yourself like nothing. You're not yourself anymore.
So quick.
You're somebody else. Else's.
And you can get caught up in that energy quick.
Right.
Yo, you just made me think about like a crazy metaphor. So I just
Is you good? Okay.
whatever.
Yeah.
Smack me around, baby.
Stay there, Christian.
So when as you were talking, you made me think about how like. So think about if like God and Satan. Think about if they were bakers. Okay. So God's making all these beautiful artisan cookies.
Okay.
And they're all different, and they're all beautiful, and they're all decorated a little different. Or he's making this beautiful artisan dough, and you can turn everything into it. And then he's dropping it down, and he's putting it into the world. And
with a
Satan is another baker, and he sees God doing this, and but he wants to take credit, and he wants to
be the baker,
and he wants to be the baker, and he wants to make cookies that people buy. So he takes. But he finds a cool cookie cutter. And he goes, you know what? If every cookie looked like this, they would all be mine. So as soon as God makes these beautiful things and drops them down in the world and they're finally there, he just goes, he tries to cookie cut it right into the same thing. So he's just cookie cutting everybody into hell, bro.
It's fake.
The
Yes.
sheep.
Yes.
The wide path.
How'd you know that the cookie cutter was the shape of a sheep? No.
Sheeps, right? Bunch of sheeps.
Bunch of bass.
But dude, I knew. Look, as soon
That's
as
a
you
weird metaphor. I don't know why I thought about it like that.
not weird at all. When you started talking about it,
Yeah.
I literally knew where you were going with it. You know why?
Mine too.
Because we have talked about this specific thing, the deceivement
Yeah.
of the devil trying to, one, take credit for something that he didn't do, and two, deceive people into thinking that there's no uniqueness to people. And even worse, that uniqueness doesn't come from God.
One
It's
of the
like,
greatest
I'm not unique.
lies
They start
told
to
in
believe that.
mankind. What you said.
What is it?
Having humans not understand what you just said is one of the greatest lies to mankind.
Exactly,
One
and
of
I think that's
the devil's favorite lies.
right. And I think that's why this is one of the crucial messages to preach to people is that God created us in His image in a very unique way, in your own way. That's why when the scripture mentions that God knew you before time, or God knew you in the womb, literally points out that He didn't just create you from your parents meeting each other and then have the relationship and you being born.
And you're
no,
just a bunch of cells.
Right.
That came out to be
accident.
Bro.
You were the fastest sperm, as if you know what I mean. That type of stuff.
I'm a good racer.
He had a plan for you in a very unique way, just the way you are.
Yeah.
Just the way you physically are, just the way you mentally that same way. But then there's that developing
Just the
ages
way
that
you
He's
are.
always with you on that. And when you understand that from that beautiful perspective,
Yeah.
nobody can tell you otherwise.
Nobody.
Because you already know the Lord Himself was the one who created you in the first place. Even out of the
accidents
even
don't
before
happen.
your parents type of thing. That He has a plan for you, and you have this unique side that you can share to the world in a very positive way and
Yeah.
with love. Is that is a gift and it's a blessing, and when that's taken away, I think you drop your self-worth so
you
low.
can feel it, say if that gets taken away. Say your world is a color TV, it turned to black and white TV. You know
Yes,
what I mean?
what was the example Eugene brought today? He said there's no
That's wild.
accidents, there is something.
There's no coincidence. There's, God.
Do you remember it?
Coincidence?
No, I think he used the word accidents. There is no accidents or something.
So you know how people say,
no
okay,
accidents
ready?
or coincidences.
Let's talk about our very
It's grand
story
design.
that happened today, right? It
Talking
was
about
interesting.
grand design, right?
Mike, we are after the church. We had a conversation about the churches, the traditions, the scripture, and all that kind of stuff. And we're sitting in this room for, I would say, 30 minutes to 1 hour, right?
Yeah. About 45, probably.
The same time we leave is the same exact time that this lady was about to drive by
Bro.
to leave because it
is
was her
wild.
first time to the church.
And what were we talking about?
This is wild.
We were saying bringing more people to the church.
We were talking
And
about
then-
doing that.
And then we this is like a must that we are supposed to be bringing more people in, and then this thing just happens.
Right. And you have to put it in perspective. If we left there, and I mean, this is a seconds
Yeah.
thing. If we left, how about this? Minutes.
At any
Seconds
other
might be
time.
minutes. She would have literally drove by because
seconds, bro.
There was no one there
was
for her to ask
the
what time
parking
is
lot
the
was
service
filled,
over.
all that kind of
Seconds.
stuff. She asked us, I was about to leave, but I'm gonna stay now.
And I said, no, there's another.
Yeah, 'cause she thought 11 was the last
She goes,
one.
no, and then Eugene walks over to this lady, and he
Invites her.
sees the kid in the car. He goes, oh, you got. He grabs her hand, and you could. I saw, like, I don't know if you guys saw this, but I had a side
It wasn't
view.
from my perspective,
Dude,
from yours. Yeah,
He grabbed this lady's hand. He doesn't even know it, and you could tell that this. I saw her eyes. I didn't see his eyes. I saw her eyes look at his eyes, and you could tell. He's like, God bless you. Come to this church. It's beautiful. It's like
She
I'm
felt
so
love.
glad you could tell. I could see the love that she felt in that interaction, and it was wild, bro.
because when it's coming from a person that you
exudes
just
some
met,
love.
for sure, Eugene, I'm telling you,
good
dude,
with that.
Eugene is very good with
And
that.
at the end, she said, "This
And
is
he
awesome
will,
what you guys are doing. I
Eugene
love
will
this."
bounce that too. He will say, "You're gonna feel the love when I talk to you. You're gonna know, like, even if I don't know you, you're
Yeah.
gonna know I love you in my eyes."
And it's all God's
I thought
work
that
too.
was a wonderful bounce. I heard him say that.
For sure. It's all God's work in this type of thing, that as we are talking about the importance of more people coming to the church.
Oh, you
and
want
that
more
we need
people?
to do
Yeah,
the
I'm
work.
gonna bring more people.
There was an opportunity, and here's the thing: we had really two decisions to make. We either invite that person to come to the church, introduce them to the services, the times, like you did,
Yeah.
the word, all that kind of stuff, or just say, "Oh well, sorry, try another time," or something like that. You know what I mean? Or just not even pay attention.
You
Because
said
look,
only two
she's a stranger.
decisions.
Well, I would say so.
I could probably make like 4 more. Some would be crazy. Like, what if I just like bit her tire and like caught the tire? Say, we don't do that around here, lady.
Well, I think at that point you can make 1,000 different scenarios
I'm
doing
flattered.
different things. But yeah, the idea is
I know exactly what you're saying.
I think that's when Eugene said that there's no such thing as
No,
a.
he said that inside, and then we came out and
Maybe we'll have Eugene write in a comment or something on this video so you guys can see it. But he said there is no coincidences, because you're gonna think that this is a coincidence. Simply that a coincidence. I'm pretty sure if you can look up the definition, is something that
It's
doesn't
a
really.
listen. It's in the word coincidence. It's an incidence that happened. Co means together. It's an
Okay.
incidence that happened at the same time as another incidence. It's a coincidence.
Right. So without any type of supernatural intervention, right?
Yeah.
couldn't find it.
What?
I think it's Eugene, so it's not.
No. It is. He said
Are you
there's
saying,
no
you
such
saying
thing
you
as a
can't find the word
coincidence.
coincidence?
Oh no! When Eugene said it.
Say, bro.
Yeah, no, the word doesn't exist. So it's
Yeah, I don't.
fake word.
I would
I'm
say.
gonna jump out this window if that word doesn't exist.
No, I don't really know
lie,
the
bro.
quote.
I won't let you go. I'll catch you.
You're a beautiful man. Grazie.
But that's where it came from. There's no such thing as a coincidence. There's a God, and then the word I forgot is the idea of God's intention,
Yeah.
but it's in a different way.
Yep.
You know,
pretty
I
much-
think when we talk about I still got more questions, brother. When we bring up the question, when we bring up the question with conformity and stuff, and the lack of uniqueness and stuff, if somebody came to you and you notice that this person has a problem with being unique or showing this unique side of them, let's just bring up a simple example in cooking, right? Because as a chef, you are able to see some things that they are not able to see. People that are presented with talent or passion that they probably not even are aware of it. Sometimes the directors or the professors or the coaches pick up on that.
Oh yeah.
They know what it's like. They understand the sport. They understand the
they've
career,
seen it.
the passion. They've seen it. They've walked through that.
You've seen that
Past that.
spark. Yeah.
Exactly. And when you see it, you are able to encourage that person and share that perspective that they have something special. And it's not just lying to them or trying to just feed them positivity,
you're
even though there's an
nurturing.
important
You're
part
trying
of
to
that.
nurture.
Right.
You're
And there's
trying to
a
nurture
place
something
where you
good.
do that positive affirmation. But then there's this side that you actually like truly believe that this person has a gift and they have to use that potential, even if they don't see that there is that potential. So how would you approach that situation? It is a tough one. I'm not gonna lie. If I was asked that would be a tough one.
Are you telling me Hey Christian, how do you bring out somebody's hidden potential?
Yeah, that's a beautiful way to put it shortly.
Hey Christian, if you recognize someone's hidden potential and you recognize that they haven't recognized it themselves yet, how do you get them to realize it?
Yep. Because that is that unique side.
You did this with me.
I know.
In the kitchen.
You
Oh, that's gonna be a fun story.
You show them that they're good.
Tell us the whole story.
What?
No, what happened was I'll say
Mikey
right?
was telling
because
the story.
I mean during the night kitchen. I mean me and Christian were just like getting deep conversations like out of nowhere, and stuff like that. And like with what you said, like he would kind of just like compliment me on some things. I guess like like what would you say? You'd be like.
I like to throw flowers when they're due. And then also I like to.
Where's my flower? You didn't bring one?
I like to cultivate.
You don't get one, bro.
And I like to cultivate talent. I do. So if I see it, I'm gonna nourish it. Mm-hmm. But
positive feedback is always great.
Man. And
Thank you. So are you.
And thank you.
We all got our talents in our own areas.
We smell our own, bro. That's I love that phrase. We smell our own. But
That's a good one.
But yeah.
So yeah, I see Mike. He's a good worker. I saw him as a good kid, head on his shoulders, receptive to common sense, and cared to learn, and actually gave a shit about what he was doing. And then also took interest in what I was doing. You're like, yo, what is this nut all about, bro? Because I'm a nutty person in the kitchen. I move wild. You heard me?
Yeah,
but,
dude. So bad.
Yeah, right.
Wild.
No, but even with you, Christian, like the more I talk to you and stuff like that, you would have this passion for comedy, and then you would have a passion for cooking. Or I'd say to you all the time, like, bro, why don't you like start like making just reels of you just like cooking food, like telling jokes and doing comedy and stuff like that. Bro. It's like we both like saw each other's like gifts and stuff like that, like, pull it out and stuff like that, even when we weren't even noticed.
Because that shit or that those things are when it goes both ways and it's mutual and you're doing that. That's beautiful. That's what creates.
That's what friends should do. Really,
that's what friends do, bro.
Be on the lookout.
Because sometimes you can't recognize something good about yourself because you're either focused on something else that you're working on, or you're blind to it because of some kind of situation you went through in your life, and it takes somebody else to see something and pull it out of you.
Which is so built into you, right?
Yeah.
Like with like for example, let's say someone's just like really.
I like to see people. I don't know what it is. I just like to see people light up, bro. There's something about it, dude. When I see someone's eyes light up and they just understand something, or see that they have done something they feel like they couldn't have done in the past, or they understand something they didn't think they'd ever understand. There's something about that that
just enlightens someone,
makes
right?
you happy.
That gets my rocks off every time, bro. I love it.
It's a great motivation.
Yeah.
Because you know that you changed somebody's life through the love that you shared.
Yeah. And then I think I enjoy the feeling, so I know, like, if someone has it, I know that they're, if someone's, I like to make people smile, bro.
Yeah.
In whatever way.
Because it reciprocates, and when you make somebody smile, then with their positive energy, they will then project that to other people, and it just goes on. And
that's why I despised COVID masks. I could not see your smile. That's why I drew a lot of smiles on my COVID masks.
Right, dude, people look so different when they would take the mask off. I would be like, when I went to school and
take a jump scare.
When I went to school, I got this new classmates that I didn't even know. Put that shit back on, dude. Alright, bro. Sorry. And when they would take the mask off, it's a completely different person.
Yeah.
It was just future. All of a sudden,
their whole faces changes. Yeah. Take your mask off right now.
Ooh, no.
Where's it at? Where's the mask?
I can't reveal these things, bro.
You gotta keep it a secret, or what? No, I love you, Christian.
Me and you are just like wrestling for his mic over here. Christian, I wanted to say too, back to what we're talking about, like people's uniqueness and stuff like that. I would say like you're a very like authentic man, stuff like that, and we would have conversations about how if people are at a party and stuff like that, like no one like dances nowadays, right? Like people's phones are out, they don't want to move around, they don't want to be themselves and stuff.
And I can't stop dancing when there's not even any music.
Yeah, like, you don't really care. Like, where do you think like that really comes from? Like, how does someone really cultivate like being authentic and being comfortable with themselves?
Ooh, so I don't know how I personally stopped. It's something. When I was a kid, I could not, dude. I was a shy kid. I couldn't dance. I couldn't like I would feel awkward if people were dancing around me. I would feel awkward like in a club or a bar, and it was weird. But one day, I woke up probably around 24, 25, 26-ish area. And I said, yo, I'm going to be me. Completely unadulterated me. And I know I'm being me. And so I know the people that love this really love me for me. And the people that don't like this, God bless them, but I don't need to waste my precious time on this earth with that, because I know I'm being authentically me, and I'm going to gravitate and have people gravitate towards me that resonate with this frequency which I'm pushing out.
Yeah.
And that's how you find like your people in this world. But the thing is, when I made this decision, that's when I really stopped caring. I was able to dance. It was almost like a snap. I was able to. I don't care what anybody thought anymore. I just cared about me being happy and the people I love and people around me smiling.
That's great. That's like people.
Like I threw all of the trepidatiousness and the shyness is out the window because I guess I didn't know who I am, and I decided to be me. And being me is like, that's a hard thing to say when someone's saying I'm being me. It's like, no, I'm going with the vibes of what I feel is right. I'm going to do the next right thing every time.
Without overthinking what somebody else is going to think.
No, don't care. Thank you for bringing that up, bro. I don't care what other people think, and which makes it so much easier to move in this world if you truly don't.
Like, who cares, right?
Because when you start thinking about what other person is going to think about your action, now you're not looking at it from a perspective of your own, but you're looking at from the perspective of that person, saying, what is that person going to think in their head? And now you now you start to get in their head and assuming things and making yourself even more insecure for no reason sometimes.
Another living hell.
Yeah. But you can't help it sometimes. You can't do it.
Christian,
to God.
To all of you guys too, do you guys think it's necessary to be aware of how you act and care what other people are going to think in
100%
certain situations?
You need to be aware of yourself. You
say no?
No, I'm just kidding.
I
think that's
No, because
what am I doing?
The reason why I'm bringing that up is because I know people that are just not aware of how they're acting in public. And listen, it doesn't have to do anything with you not being who you are, but there are just some scenarios where a human, that's just how we are. You know, we see someone and we see how they are. Yeah. There are some things in public that you shouldn't really be doing. Like, for example, I feel like screaming in the public because that's what I like doing around with my friends. Right. See, the problem with that is
screaming.
You might be authentic, right? Because that's what you do around with your friends.
Sure.
But being in the public and not being aware of how you're acting, can come out as very. You could even say disrespectful. For example, you're in the library, right?
Sure.
I feel like screaming. I feel like being loud.
But
you're not thinking about other people. And I think, in a sense, you should really not really, but you should sometimes care how other people are gonna view you, because you don't want them to see you who you're not. Because sometimes people might see you as a crazy person, and they will never come get to know you. And you're just that's kind of your fault. You know what I mean?
I have that problem in this world.
I know. I have that too. Everybody does. I just know some people that just do not pay attention to this stuff.
Yeah.
You definitely have to really And I'm glad you point that fact out, because just how being a shy person and getting yourself out there and not caring what other people are going to think is a very positive way for you to display your authenticity, but it can also be you playing on your own insecurity and playing with your own head to the point where now your actions might not have to do with your authenticity in the sense, but it has to come from you always constantly trying to prove yourself something, and sometimes in a very wrong direction.
Right.
Trying to prove myself that I'm going to do this just because why not? But you got to go a little bit further than why not.
Right.
Why not just take my shirt off and just start running around? You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, it's kind of, I guess, one way to challenge yourself to not care what other people are going to think. But at the same time, it is kind of childish and foolish.
There is
to do that.
I do want to clarify again. Great questions, which make me elaborate on how I truly think about shit, stuff, whatever. But yeah, there is a clarification between not caring what people think and you can be that. You can not care what people think, and that's bad, but you can also at the same time still take people's thoughts into consideration.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you don't want to misrepresent yourself as some sort of fool.
Perfect way to put it.
Absolutely.
Exactly. Just do not
Don't misrepresent
yourself.
And
Exactly.
that's something that I will often battle. That's something I battle with in this world, because
You have to know when to joke and when to be serious.
I can be taking less serious because of how I can come sometimes. Like I'll come incorrect sometimes to situations where I should come more seriously. But I've also learned those lessons the hard way throughout life, so I kind of know how to read a room, and I know the different dichotomy of personalities I can meet, and I know what I need to do to keep the peace.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's all I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to impress you. I'm not trying to offend you. I'm not trying to do anything. I just want to be peaceful so you can be peaceful and we all can be peaceful and live life. And
because we all had that one friend in the group that everybody did, I'm pretty sure, where there's always that one person when you talk about something serious, he always makes that out-of-pocket joke that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. Like, you're talking about some serious things, you're trying to figure something out, and then he just jumps out, does something that's not relevant at all.
Mindless almost.
Yeah, mindless.
Yeah.
Then, for example, when the scenario presents itself again and you want to have deep conversations, that's not the person you're going to call. That's going to be bad for you, because guess what? Now they're having this conversation to grow as people. And then, they're kind of leaving you out because of your own actions of what you did. You don't want that to happen to you. You know what I mean?
Very interesting.
But then I want to also share a different perspective as well, is because this is why I like different perspectives on things.
You need it.
Because
it's necessary.
Exactly. And this is one of the ways why you need it is taking the opportunity to sometimes step out of your own comfort zone and talk to that person and see where they're coming from with the actions that they're doing.
Absolutely.
Because it's easy to think that person's crazy. Mm-hmm. It's hard to go up to them and talk to them.
My favorite person.
You know what I
mean? I would say they're just not aware of how they're acting in the public place.
Exactly.
That's it.
My favorite thing is walking up to people
talking to people
are considered crazy and going, "What's up with you, bro?" Because I'll figure it out, and I'll be like, "Oh, you're not crazy. You're unique in this way."
No, that's exactly how I look at it.
I mean, every once in a while, you'll grab yourself a crazy.
You just gotta channel it.
Sometimes crazy is crazy.
Christian, you just gotta channel in the right way, right? Because I mean, you're a comedian.
I'm not a comedian. I'm just a funny chef.
You said it.
I would say you have a comedian mind for sure.
You do. I'm a funny chef that has comedy attributes.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
poetic mind.
Poet.
You were gonna say something?
No. I mean, no.
So I just really had this thought in my mind, because back to comparing yourself and stuff like that. let's imagine, right? Like this is a little boy. He's in this village, and his dad's a blacksmith, and his crazy uncle is a baker, right? He chooses to be. He can either choose one or the other, like career wise, because that's like that's his environment.
He's seen both. Yeah,
that's his environment. He doesn't know anything outside of that. Like his village, that's it. His dad's a blacksmith, or his crazy uncle's a baker. I just call him a crazy uncle, but he chooses to be a blacksmith, right? And that's all he knows, right? That's his choices.
Which one you would choose?
Doesn't matter. But anyways, compared to nowadays in this world, we see everyone's profession. We see so many things. And in some cases, right, that boy who was a blacksmith, imagine he had a phone. He sees knights. Oh, wow, like, I kind of want to be a knight. I don't really want to be a blacksmith. Or I want to go slay dragons. Or I want to go adventure. I want to go do X, Y, Z. Right? Do you guys ever feel like...
Dragons don't exist, though. How would he slay dragons?
Well, do you guys ever feel like there's... like you're
I'm serious.
Brother, I'm telling you just a story.
I'm just saying...
You're going back.
Do you guys understand what I'm trying to say?
You're going back to the good idea of comparison next to the bad idea of comparison.
No, he's going with potential.
And I like it.
Having the potential of
I know
seeing
exactly
different
what you're
options.
talking about.
Potential, authenticity, comparison, like all of it together, right? Like imagine, like in today's world nowadays, like we
That's a
see,
good word.
like, you guys feel like that little boy, like in his village, if he never would have saw that knight or that knight slaying the dragon or seeing other adventures outside and stuff like that,
Yeah.
do you think he would grow outside of that bubble?
Very
Like,
unlikely, but there's chance of it, but the chance is so slim.
So
Because he'd have to like wonder and trip out of his bubble and be like, oh, what's
yeah,
going
you
on
would to
out
kind of
here?
almost. It's almost like he's like ignorant to it right now because he just doesn't know. He just doesn't know the knowledge and stuff like that. And where I was going with this is because authenticity, right? Where is like the fine line? Because I feel like people are so confused nowadays because they see everyone.
It's a wonderful
right?
question.
Versus like this one kid, okay, he sees now he sees the blacksmith, the baker, and the knight. Okay, it's 3 options, right? Like in that little bubble, right? Versus nowadays, we see random people every single day on social media. This guy's a millionaire. This person fucking cooks. This person has does
Personal training.
yeah, there's like all these professions
Fitness,
and stuff like
yeah.
that. And I think that's like what causes people to be like confused.
Which one's
It's
better?
like
Is that what you're asking? Not better, but...
not necessarily which one's better. I'm just kind of just like giving out an idea and stuff like that with comparing it. It can be good or bad. Like good as in like you can see like your potential. Like, okay, this person has so much success. They have freedom. They've built a business that's impactful. Like they've done X, Y, Z. But it's also the other side where it's like, okay, but should I really reach this standard? Is that authentic to me? Blah, blah, blah.
What do you think? What do you think, Christian?
Like it is...
I think it's a wonderful point.
No, but like what I'm
I
trying
think
to...
you're still making it.
Like, because I feel like
There's
it's
a question to it.
It's not a
Yes.
it's not a bad thing to compare yourself and stuff like that because you can realize how much potential you actually do have because
Right.
you're no longer ignorant to just your little environment, your little bubble.
That's beautiful. So I guess it boils down to
No, okay, I didn't really give you a question or anything like that, but I'm gonna tie this in with like conformity and stuff like that. How come just some people out there who
tie that bow,
like
baby.
for example, I'm not really like anything like my really family members. Like I don't really like. I'm not really around them that much.
Right.
Like, I kind of like do my own thing. I didn't really go to college. Like I don't have the same mindset.
Neither do
I have
I.
a different mindset than a lot of other people, right? Like what is like the shift? Like what is it is it the fact that we saw something that they didn't see, or is it the fact that because I'm sure like the people have seen people on the internet and stuff like that, but they don't choose. How come? I don't know where I'm really going with this. But
I
you guys
know exactly where you're going.
Get where I'm trying to.
I'm literally reading your mind as you're going.
I
Don't
know
do
what
that.
you're
Don't
trying
read
to
my mind.
say as well.
Go for it, bro.
Can someone?
You're reading his mind. You
sure?
gotta
I ran out of
go.
words.
I would slay dragons. I would be a knight.
Okay.
No, okay. I'm serious though.
You just say you're gonna slay
to be
dragons
serious,
on
no,
an
no.
Arabian night?
I was joking with him because he's that
Exactly
example.
what he said.
to slay
I just wanted to
dragons.
go with you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's go then.
Yeah.
I would
boy.
say it's double-edged sword for me because if I were to take like a realistic example, or like for example, someone that's scrolling through social media and seeing this different type of lifestyles, and one's a YouTuber, the other one's a businessman, the other one plays soccer and sports and all this stuff. It's like they get confused in their heads. They try one thing and then they go like, oh no, I'm not good at this, because they're not patient enough to wait and put the effort in to become that person, because that's what they actually want to pursue. Now, when you have 3 options, yeah, in a sense, the people in the world might call you, you're like NPC. You only know 3 things. You're not of this world type of thing. They will say that. But at the end of the day, you have the purpose because you grew up in that household, the purpose where they were working hard to what's it called?
Provide for the family.
Provide for the family. Not make money in where you scam people. No, through your hard work, you made the money, and you lived innocent and very passionate and righteous life.
Righteous, yeah.
But when you have this lot of options, I'm not saying it is bad.
Yeah.
I don't want anyone thinking that I'm saying that. What I'm saying is it could be a bad thing, because then you don't know you're not really. You don't know if it's bad or good because you see someone else doing it. You know what I mean? So I should. My perspective would be just
discernment.
Always live a righteous life, and don't do what other people do.
Always live a righteous life.
Do your own thing.
Always have great discernment in whatever you're doing. You think, is this what God would want for me? Is this what God would want for the situation?
The question you should ask.
Big question.
Does this glorify faith? Does this make me a man walking in faith and glorifying fucking Jesus? That was a horrible curse. That's the worst.
That was a horrible curse.
Thing.
You caught yourself, brother. You caught yourself.
Bro's passionate. He's passionate.
Yeah, a little passionate.
Guess what? We're not gonna cut that
yeah.
out. We're gonna keep it in there.
Ooh, that's fine, bro. I think
No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
What?
I don't even think I brought up that whole entire idea about as like a question, but just as perspective, right?
It was a great thing to think about.
Because we're talking about authenticity, like how do you know who you are? Like, do you spend more time by yourself? But if you spend more time by yourself, do you really get to see like what you're capable of, not looking at other people outside of you to kind of get a good idea, inspiration?
Moderation, bro. Mm-hmm. I think the key to life is seriously moderation, and you have to have a healthy appetite for exploration, and you have to know if you like something heavily to mitigate it and not let it take you over, because we are creatures of habit, and that's just what we do, and we have to control ourselves. Yeah, we have to control it. The key to life is moderation. You can literally do everything in this world if you do it in a moderated state.
I disagree.
You think?
Of course.
Bro, what's moderation?
Yeah.
What is moderation?
So you're saying I can smoke weed in moderation, bro? It's a very good perspective. I like it. I use it too. Ever since you said the whole thing with moderation, I completely agree with it. Yeah. Because too much working out, done. Yeah. Too much water kills you. Water's amazing. Water's good. Too much kills you. Too little kills you.
Salt is the mineral for life. Too much kills you.
Yep. Too low also isn't good.
Yeah.
Moderation there is the key. But everything is a big word. What is it?
Can we read the definition?
Yeah.
The moderation, the avoidance of excess or extremes, especially in one's behavior or political opinions.
Key to life.
So it's almost like on the fence.
Yeah.
You're like 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Lukewarm.
No. I wouldn't put it like that.
What do you mean?
Lukewarm.
I wouldn't put it as lukewarm.
Maybe
as you're in the fence.
You're avoiding one side or the other. You're just like kind of just like.
Well, you would not want to. Here's the thing, though. Moderation in this specific example would not stand in like a lukewarm example, because lukewarm is okay. Let's say you know
how there's different definitions. There's different 1, 2, and 3. We're talking about like 2.
Yeah.
No, we're talking about like 2.
Yeah, in the middle.
Look. How about this? Let me kind of explain how I thought where Christian was going with it. When he said moderation is the key, what he meant was everything that you do in this life, whether that be, let's say, drinking, smoking, or whatever, as long as there's moderation involved, it's okay. I personally do not agree with it. I don't think anybody should necessarily try weed and moderate smoking weed or cigarettes, and that's okay. As long as you don't have too much or too little, moderation is the key. Everything, like I said, everything is a big word. I do agree with the moderation part, because you have too much water, you die. You have too low over water, that's no good. Yeah. You can also die with that too.
I was gonna say when I
get in the way of your health.
moderation.
So moderation is the key there, but not in other things.
But you don't have to take it right to substances either. You know what I mean? It's just like even like
different perspective, right?
Bombing, no good. But just the right amount of love is good.
Right. Healthy moderation,
too
right?
much. Yeah.
Healthy moderation.
Yeah. Health. I like that.
Healthy moderation.
Guess what? Word healthy on moderation.
This is interesting.
We don't need to stretch out. We don't need to stretch out our brain. We don't need to have our
yoga stretch.
Yoga.
Why don't you tell us about today?
Yo, that was good.
And
That was
here's
a
the
good
thing.
callback from before the podcast.
I think us gentlemen sitting on this table know what we each mean.
We know, yeah.
For the most part, but it's like sometimes our messages, just like what we're doing here, what we're doing is sharing different perspectives
For the viewers.
for the
yeah.
viewers as well as for ourselves too.
Absolutely.
So when we say everything is moderation, let me bring up a hypothetical example. Somebody's watching, has an addiction on porn, smoking, drinking. Here's that. Wait. You're good.
Mike's attacking me.
The mic's coming at you, bro.
Dude, I could not handle Mike attacking me.
No, like
He's so jacked, bro.
No, the microphone. Wait, Mike's attacking you or Mike's attacking you?
Sadul's attacking me.
okay.
So somebody's watching this video and has addictions, right? And they think, okay, moderation is the key. They hear that message. I don't think that's good, because what they need at that point is
Explanation of
Yeah.
no, of course,
healthy
But if we have to take that substance being there or not, I think the clear answer is no.
Yes.
Now, if we look at it from what you meant, the healthy
Yeah.
moderation, 100%. So sharing this little, and it's not very little because it's very different perspective when you look at it like that. So sharing this different perspectives and taking it into different direction opens up a pathway now for more people to understand what you're trying to say.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because that way you don't influence people in a way that feels
negative.
right to them and they want to hear it, but something
That's
that
true,
is
yeah.
also opposing to it and somebody else points it out,
So-
saying, hey dude, nope, it's not what it is.
Somebody with good habits, they could be like, yeah, that's a good idea. But somebody with bad habits could go,
Ooh,
I was looking for a reason to justify my use today.
exactly.
I understand.
Yep. And that's why it's that's why different perspectives is
Absolutely.
important.
It's a good clarification.
But yeah, that's also why it's like I feel like it really depends on the person because like what's the goal, right? Like what is the
Yeah.
outcome? Because for some people, right, they could be like, well, my goal in life is to kind of just like enjoy like any food I want, like make sure to experience it and stuff like that. So they wouldn't really go on an extreme diet and
Right.
and work out a ton. Like that's not their goal, right? Versus a pro bodybuilder who's they want to go to the extreme. They're gonna say screw moderation, screw balance. I'm going all in to achieve this goal. So I think it really just comes down to how do you want to live your life? I think that's the question that you have to ask because it really just depends. Like, do you really want to be all salty and have so much salt in your food? And probably not, right? That's not, you wouldn't,
Right.
That's why you have to moderate that. But when it comes to living a life of God, or living a life of purpose, it comes down to,
Giving up very things that hold
giving
you
up
back.
a lot of things. It's like moderation in that sense. Like, let's just talk about like faith and stuff like that in moderation. There really isn't much room for moderation in that sense. You're either
one side or the other.
one side or the other. In that case, it's how you want to live it. If you want to be like, I kind of want to be a lukewarm Christian. I just want to go to church. I don't really have a relationship with God, but I want to go to church. I want to be friends with these people. Yeah, and then then I'll be saved. Like it's fine. And I'll talk to God later. Whatever. But
you know what? I've been saying moderation is the key to life for a very long time. And because of you fellas today, I'm not going to say that anymore.
set new standards. But depending on your goals and how you want to live your life. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Because I brought that saying all the way from my past bull.
And you don't have to be your
Yeah.
But I think
bull spit.
Yeah.
it is a good perspective though, because it's funny. Ever since you put that perspective,
Yeah.
I use it, but I do make sure that when I do use that perspective, that moderation is the key. I do specifically target those people who might be there trying to justify that moderation word.
So moderation is not the key, but it definitely is a key.
Ooh. Yep. Nice. Yo, you cooked. Mike,
it up a little
I
bit.
really liked the example that you brought up with the blacksmith and having that perspective of a night. And when you first
Crazy uncle.
and the crazy uncle, the baker. When you started talking about that, my mind went somewhere else until you finished the sentence with the question. So I'm kind of gonna
go back.
share both. I'm gonna share what you asked first. In my opinion, what it comes down to is people having the ability of see different side of life is definitely very good, very good. But we were talking about this too at the church, that sometimes too much knowledge too early, like for the kids, especially with technology and stuff, is unhealthy in my opinion, because of just what you see people do with that knowledge for views. It's a lot of wickedness for a kid to handle. The kid doesn't know any better.
It's handing the kid the apple, basically.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is. And the kid will obviously take a bite to that apple.
And
the curiosity.
You're literally handing them an apple.
And you are doing
like
that.
An actual apple.
When you're giving them the phone.
That's insane.
You know the conspiracy theory behind like the bitten apple? The apple
What
logo?
does Apple have?
Dude,
Bitten apple. You
It's
give
a
them
bitten apple. It's literally saying, here's the knowledge of good and evil in a pad now. We finally streamlined the tree's knowledge into this pad that you can put in front of your kid's face when it's crying, so you can get some sleep.
Now guess what? They know.
Selfishly get some sleep.
And Christian, guess what? Now they know good and bad, but what do they choose?
The easiest one.
They choose the bad.
The easiest one.
It's bad. It's easy to do bad, but it's hard to do good.
It is.
And
It is.
a different perspective that I thought about where you were going with it is sometimes I do think that there's, and I don't want to sound the type of person that is kind of like limiting the freedom for humans, but it's like sometimes it is better to have less in life than have more. Sometimes to have less of an opportunity than more. But it also, like, you really have to put both perspectives on the table.
Less and more, are you talking?
This is what I mean.
Are
You know, people back then-
spiritual and
Both.
are you talking materialistic or like spiritual?
I'll try to
and
get
mental?
to both. I'll try to get to both because that is the same point that we also did talk about after the churches. The whole thing with like sleep schedule and everything. People had a little bit more simpler life back then. Look, here's the thing, right? For a man, wake up, go to work, provide for your family, go after your purpose, come home.
That was his purpose.
Spend time with your family, quality time. Sit with them, have dinner with them, go to sleep. Wake up the next morning, do your thing, and they were happy.
Wake up, provide, fellowship, love.
Exactly.
Go to bed.
Love
Repeat.
God.
All the needs are fulfilled right there.
Rinse
Right.
and repeat.
The
bro.
righteous path.
Righteous
That is
path,
the righteous
loving
path.
the Lord, and being the leader of the house that brings your family to righteousness.
Yep. You solve any disputes.
Right.
You smooth out any rough edges. You calm the kids down when they get in hype. You calm
Right.
that woman down when she get in hype. Because you let them know.
Question:
You're
how would
like
you
a
do
true-
that, Christian? I'm just kidding. Don't answer that. Don't answer that.
But
I say, listen, woman.
Yeah.
I say, listen, woman. No.
and you see, when you look at it from that perspective, and this is obviously just one perspective, right? This can go in many ways. There can be a man that has that type of lifestyle, but it's also complacent.
Yeah.
But I'm literally trying to specifically point that person that has that purpose, but not really much to offer to others, nor so much to offer to the family, right? Like a simple lifestyle that is filled with purpose and love. Like love's there. The material things might not be there, but love's there.
Yeah.
And we know that love is more important than materialistic things. Materialistic don't last. Love is eternal.
Dude, I'm
and
telling
we know
you, like,
that from the Lord
That
Jesus
should
Christ.
be no question, but unfortunately, it
It
is
is.
no question with.
And
a
when
lot
you
of
look at it
people.
from that perspective, imagine a kid being raised in a family where, there's the crazy uncle that's a baker,
Yeah.
and then the blacksmith, right?
They choose
They
which
have two
one.
options. And here's the thing. They choose one or the other based on their love, and they start to do well in it. They might not have all the money. They might not have, the good things within their life. But guess what they have? They have something they're passionate about, something that they have chosen in their life. They picked one or the other type of thing. They know that they chose this and they're willing to stick with it. That's their option. And they're not willing to necessarily compromise with, what is it there for me? No, like I am supposed to do this for my family, for the purpose and all these type of things. And it makes the life simpler, and sometimes the answer is in simplicity rather than complexity. Complexity is good because, like I said, it's the apple, right? It opens up the knowledge. You're now smart. You're able to share different perspectives. But there is that perspective that you have to face. That sometimes simplicity is very, very, very healthy.
Yeah, simplicity is the key, bro.
It's one of the keys, right?
It's a key.
Yeah.
Go ahead, bro.
That's fine. I need to go.
Dude, I was gonna say something. I just wrote this down.
It's
correct
simplistic.
correct me if I'm wrong, but look, ready? Yeah, what? Hear me out. Hear me out on this.
Let's go, George.
Back then it was a simple life, right? Simple as if like waking up, working, getting back with your family, and then doing the same thing over and over again.
Absolutely.
Now it's a complicated life. Now I put it in these words: simple but hard life was back then. Now it's complicated but easy life because it's easy to do bad. Back then it's hard to live that lifestyle because think about it. You wake up and your purpose is to take care of the family, which a lot of people don't want to do that. They don't want to take that responsibility. Look, it's a simple life, simple lifestyle, but a hard life to live because it's a righteous path. But it's complicated lives now, doing a lot of things, hustling, what they call.
Too much distraction.
But it's easy because it's easy to do the bad things. This is the way I would put it.
It's like you're putting it in a very specific standpoint because if we look at it like that, there can be this scenario that somebody else brings it in there, but you're putting two specific scenarios that I completely agree with.
Yeah.
Because it can definitely be that situation where somebody does pick something easy for a selfish reason.
This is what I think.
It's like being a nice person and a good person.
Yeah.
Being a good person takes effort. Being a nice person, that's like kind of all you got.
Should we do that segment or should we do the questions first?
We can do this segment. So you guys saw from our last episode. Shout out to Christian Culture. Sponsor us. Sponsor Bros Think Big.
Yo.
So
get the ad going.
we are gonna bring out a random.
Who got this for us?
Let me get Eugene.
No.
Pastor Joe.
No.
Very dear friend of
Pastor
ours
Steve.
that were with
That
us
you know.
on this pod.
No.
So-
He doesn't.
He's still thinking. Isn't that crazy?
Was it either Josh or Sasha?
Yeah.
How'd you guess that, bro? I think that was too hard of an option.
The art of
Thinking.
divvying things down, bro. What is it? The art of deduction. Sorry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Eliminating
That's it.
the wrong
now,
answers.
Now we're gonna have fun. We're gonna have fun now.
So yeah, we're gonna pick out an answer, and this is considered to be a hot topic. Because there's different options like
That's a gothic
icebreakers,
store
hot
in the mall.
topics, interpretations, and then there is stories. This is a hot topic. Ready for the question, gentlemen?
Yeah.
Are Christians called to confront social and systematic injustice?
Oh, that's
Go ahead,
not
Christian.
even a hot topic, bro. That's an easy one.
That's an easy one for us. That's what we talked about.
Of course we are, bro.
Christian, we want to hear your answer.
We'll
bro.
go down.
Yeah.
We'll go where.
Guest.
Let's discuss hot topic. Oh, now I see why it's a hot topic. Okay. Christian is called to confront social and systematic injustice. I think that they are not.
Ooh, why not?
I want to go against what because you.
You're pranking us, right?
No, I'm not even pranking, bro. I'm not even pranking because no, we're called to confront spiritual injustice, bro. We're called to confront like we're not here to fight wars with people. We're not here. We're here to spread love, and that's it. So if you want to be receptive to this love, I'm going to tell you about it. If you don't want to be receptive to this love, I'm going to tell you about it, but I'm not going to force you into a thing. And social and systematic injustice sounds like some stuff that you need to force ideology and or some sort of
Belief?
order. You have to force some sort of order in.
No way.
And then if you have an order that you're forcing, who is the authority of this order? God, of course, but how many people are going to accept that? So it's going to make conflict.
That's
I
why
like
it's narrow. That's why it's
conflict.
narrow.
I like the fact that you're thinking outside of the box.
I was trying, bro.
Good.
Yeah.
I really like that perspective, and perspective is mentioned a lot in this
thing is,
in this
though,
episode
got to,
because
bro.
it is a lot.
Does that mean you're just not gonna call out any bullshit that you see?
I call out bullshit every second. I can't not do it. It's
So
a problem,
you have to speak up for it,
right? I gotta do it.
right? Because like something in your heart, it's
Personally,
like, no,
it's in
I-
me. My heart aches when I don't.
yearning.
But I'm
Yeah.
saying,
Yearning in
but
your
now
heart.
when it's saying, but I'm reading the question as a whole. I'm not taking it as.
Can you read it again?
I'm not ready. So when I read this, I could read it as when it says "are Christians." I'll take it as me as a solo Christian,
Okay.
or I take it as all of Christians in this world as a whole.
Okay.
And that's why I answered it like that, not as what I would do solely. So are Christians called to confront social and systematic injustice?
Well, are they called to? Is that a
No.
purpose? Is that what we're?
Oh yeah, it's like no, we're called to bring people to salvation.
Yeah, but so the answer is yes.
Well, his answer is no, and he explained it.
Yeah, your answer is yes.
We have to look. We have to go in circle. All of us answer,
Whatever.
and then have an understanding.
And I also understand why your answer is yes, and because I
think your answer.
I love your perspective. I think you really thought
was
of
thinking
this
about it
outside
for
the
a
box. But when I look at this question personally, how I would answer is when the second word are Christians. We have to understand who Christians are. It's
Yeah.
not just a Christian that
Stop
is a label.
complicating it too much.
But
you guys are,
breaking it
you guys
down,
are really,
bro.
you guys are really stretching out brain too much.
Yeah, we're
You
doing
actually-
well,
yoga.
that's the question, though. That is the question.
Doing yoga in this
Look,
bitch.
you don't want to complicate it. Don't complicate it.
All right.
If I want to complicate it, let me do it. Because I'm not really complicating it. You will understand I'm not complicating it. Look, as a Christian, we are called.
We got overthinkers
When we
and,
look-
and simplifiers, bro. That's why
When
we're
we
a team.
look, when we have the Holy Spirit in us, we are able to see the injustice and the wickedness and the evil of the world. Because the Holy Spirit helps us to do. Not because we have that. Our nature is fallen. Our nature is wicked. We want to give into the temptations. But the Holy Spirit convicts us of it and help us see it. It's not of us. It's of the Lord Jesus Christ that helps us through this. So, yes, us Christians have to confront social and systematic injustice because all we can do is point it out, bring them to the light, share the gospel. The rest is up to God to do his work. We plant the seeds. That's just how I see it. Is we have to definitely point it out because it's the love that we're pointing it out with.
Right.
You know what I mean? If it's hate and it's like, oh, I want to do this and change that because I believe so, and now you're taking
That's
free
taking
will from
pride.
people and taking pride into it, then that side of things is not very Christian. But yeah, we definitely have to point it out
Very
with love.
interesting. Very interesting.
Christian, I still do think your answer is yes. You're just complicating it.
I'd say
I know your answer, because dude,
Well,
if you're saying spiritually, we're
talking
suppo-
about simplicity, right?
what? If you're saying spiritually, we're supposed to help them. That means the answer is yes, because the question is asking you: are Christians called to confront someone? That means to tell them and kind of point at them what they're doing is wrong or what they're doing is good, like pointing out. If you're saying we should point out and help each other spiritually, that means you're kind of pointing it out, no?
Who are you?
Georgie.
My man. No.
I got you, didn't you? Didn't I get you? Yeah.
Share your perspective. Share your
You
perspective.
look like you were really focused over there, Christian.
I was just trying to say who are you the whole time. Yes.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
That's why this is supposed to be the game of conversation, Christian conversation.
Yeah, so my
The
answer is
perspective.
my answer is yes, we are supposed to help each other out and have the relationship in order for us to help each other. So when somebody's falling down, we're supposed to grab their hand and pick them up.
Absolutely. I do agree with all this.
Yeah.
Like I said, I was
No, I
just
know.
trying to be a
I know.
You know me.
I could tell,
He
I
knows
could
me
tell.
too well. I was trying to have any answer that no one else would have.
My turn. So when I think about this, I think of, Christian, you know Ask Cliff? You know Cliff? No.
Ask Cliff.
No. Well,
Wake up
this-
and smell the
this-
coffee.
You guys know Cliff. So,
if
anyways,
you know,
this
you know.
guy who goes to college campuses and debates with college kids about Jesus Christ.
I think I've seen this fool.
So, well, he has
Yeah.
this really one saying that I hear her all the time and stuff like that. It's like people ask him like why are you even out here on college campuses, like even debating people? Like, why don't you just kind of do your own thing with your own faith? The people say things like that, whatever it is, and he always says like, if I'm being lifted up to heaven and stuff like that, and I see you, right, the person who I didn't preach to, and you're over to me being like, oh, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't you say anything about Christ? Why didn't you say anything about, heaven? Like, I don't get to experience this now because you didn't speak up. You didn't say anything. And Cliff would explain it really well to kind of make it so it's just like, he'd almost like make you feel like guilty in a way. It's like you had the chance and opportunity to call out this bullshit and you didn't, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like, I feel like Jesus Christ even talks about that, like says like, listen, like, if you were really a true believer, I mean, you'll say things in front of people. Like, you'll talk about me in front of people, no problem. That's not his words, but.
You're not going to deny me, yeah.
So, it's not too much different from what I said. You said in different words.
You're just trying to be smart ass.
No, I wasn't.
Damn, right?
Dude, you're the smart ass, boy. Give me this. So, what I said, he says, are Christians called to confront a social and systematic injustice? Right? So it's like, it's like, yes, they are, because like, historically, if they didn't, they get persecuted and killed. But also think about like the Templars, like they did that shit with impunity.
But what does this say again?
But I also said, I said they're called to confront social and systematic injustice. That's what I said. I said they're just called to spread the word of Jesus Christ and spread love. That was basically my answer. So I was gonna say, I think through doing that they would accomplish this.
A little debate with you. I'm gonna run into a little debate with you. So you're saying. So because I know you also said that you like his perspective because he's defining the word
he's coming from,
with a Christian, right? You're defining the word Christian.
Yeah. I didn't define.
How about this? You give me a definition what Christian means, a true Christian, because the way there's one. This
word, Christian himself. His name is Christian.
This word has only one definition: Christian. What does Christian mean to you?
A follower of Christ.
Exactly. Amen. What are followers of Christ supposed to do?
Follow Christ.
Are they supposed to confront the problems?
What?
Are they supposed to confront the problems? Are they supposed to point it out to people? Are we supposed to be doing that? Are we followers of Christ? Are we supposed to be doing that? Yes or no? Spiritually, whether it's physically helping somebody to save their lives, or spiritually, are we supposed to do those two things?
Well, you put that yes.
Exactly. So the answer is yes. Stop being a smart ass.
All right, bro. Start trying to win.
Bro, your pride is getting
right.
How? Going, bro. Now I'm just playing.
Don't worry about it. You win.
You did.
No, he's playing with you.
I don't think anybody won. I think everybody won.
Healthy win.
I win.
Everybody won, bro.
Do you understand that nobody lost and everybody won there?
We all won.
It's beautiful.
I always win. Anyways,
nobody lost it. Everybody
Christian,
won, bro.
I think we asked you these questions last time and stuff like that, but I mean, we have three.
Some of it, yeah.
So, well, I think like some of them are new. So we have three questions we ask for every guest. So we're gonna ask you these, and we're gonna ask you a question from the last guest, which is Eugene, our friend. So beautiful. The first question is, what is one thing you wish you knew earlier, or what is one thing that you would tell your younger self that you know now?
Oh, don't do it.
Don't do what?
He'll know.
Really? That's it?
No. Sorry, I had the joke.
What's something you wish you knew earlier when you were younger?
What I wish I knew earlier, I would say, be okay with change. I would tell myself to be okay with change because in my youth, I was a hard change acceptor. Mm-hmm. And I might even be to this day, but I realize it and am able to mitigate it. But be okay with change, bro, because change is the only constant in life. And if you're not okay with it, it means you'll always be uncomfortable.
Well said. I really like that answer.
Me too. Thank you.
Second one.
I didn't even know where I was coming from, too.
It's just like spit. I locked it down. You're good, man.
My man.
Number two, if you had to give one piece of advice to the world, what would it be? Let's just imagine this, right? You had a microphone in your hand, and that microphone went to everybody's ears in the world.
Now, at this second.
What? No, you have to give advice. So you don't do any weird shit, but you can say, you give one advice to everyone.
Oh yeah, the smile.
I was gonna say, yeah, you changed it to a voice. You should be like, because if I had a microphone that everybody in the world could just hear it, you know, I would definitely mess.
I wanted to make it funny.
I would mess with somebody heavy.
Why?
But why?
Like whispering in
Mess
their ear.
with somebody heavy.
Why not make it serious?
Because
Be like Adam
I
ate the
want them to
apple,
laugh.
not Eve.
if I could make the whole world simultaneously laugh, bro. If I could just say a good enough joke into this microphone and make the whole world simultaneously laugh, it would cause world peace. But I digress. Okay. My answer would be, what advice would I give the whole world? I would say, I would give the same advice that God gives. I would say, love your fellow man, but seriously do it. Like love your neighbor as yourself. Love your brother as yourself.
Bro,
Nice.
it's a great advice, bro. I love that. Love that.
Yeah, that's a great.
It's amazing.
Next question.
What would be the other thing you would say if you were able to hold the mic as a joke?
I'd probably just go, fire! Because everybody, they just heard fire. All of a sudden.
Yeah, stop dropping roll.
Everybody just believed there was a fire in the hole.
Yeah. It'd be crazy. I want to make the question kind of funny. So I asked you. I knew you'd have a good answer. Question number 3.
I can come up with something better.
Next time.
I'll do it later.
Yeah. Question number 3. What is the biggest issue we face as society, and how can we work to solve it?
The biggest issue we face in society, how we can work to solve it.
You're probably just thinking there's so many, right?
There's a lot.
Is this something we talked about today?
A big issue in society. The biggest is when thinking the biggest is crazy because I guess it's subjective as hell.
What
But,
comes to
like,
mind first? What is coming to your mind?
The first thing that came to my mind made me sound like I was in a beauty pageant, so I didn't say it.
What?
I was gonna be like, world peace. No, but I was gonna be like, but you know, I'm not.
Wait, beauty what?
A beauty pageant, because you know how they always say, they have the world peace, like Miss America.
Oh no,
Yeah.
I don't know about it.
Yeah. But
World peace.
the people that understand that joke are laughing now. You're welcome. But hit me with that question one more time. I got lost in my bullshit.
What is the biggest issue we face as society, and how can we work to solve it?
Oh, the biggest issue we face in society is thinking the devil is a lie.
Ooh.
And how can we work to solve that?
By making him bleed and letting everybody see the blood.
Before that,
What do you mean? How can we fix it? How can we solve that? How do we?
How do we let everybody know that
The devil is real?
The devil's real.
Wow.
Well, don't you have this magic microphone we can talk to everybody with
You
simultaneously?
can't use that. You can't use that this time.
But taking my powers away and giving
it's
me.
in this book, right?
Hey, you have a microphone right there.
So
tell the
we
people.
need to.
It's the 3rd chapter, brother, of the Genesis. That's when you. The scripture can help you with that 100%.
Scripture can help you with this. No, dude, I don't know how to do that, but it needs to get done because everybody needs to know.
Well, what?
that the
Okay, what if I
devil
didn't? What if? Okay.
is this? Because the biggest lie of this world is the devil is a lie, and boy, he's not a lie. He wants you dead. He wants your soul. He wants to swallow your consciousness into horrible, burning agony. And that's why we love God, because he protects us from that.
Amen.
Amen.
Yeah, dude. You know what I like about that type of answer is sometimes it's important to plant good fear, good seed of fear in somebody's brain, is because it's this guy uses this example. His name is Ray, Living Waters on YouTube, and he goes up and preaches the gospel to people and asks them questions. It starts straight off with, what do you think happens after death and that type of stuff. And you know what he brings up as an example? He said, I try to bring fear into your life because it's your friend, not your enemy.
Right.
So when you're jumping off a plane, you don't know if the parachute's gonna open. You don't. You have no idea. It's faith. There's evidence that it will open, right? So when you jump off the plane, you would want to put on a parachute and not be ignorant about the fact that might still not open, so might as well jump without it. And I might survive, right?
Right.
Yeah, there's a chance, but this little.
Yeah.
That's why you put on a parachute.
Yeah.
Because there's evidence that there is a chance of it opening. And
This is a parachute.
that's a parachute.
This
Jesus
is a parachute.
Christ came on
So you don't
earth
go crashing
to
down.
die
into
for
hell.
our sins so we can live. He promises us eternal life. And not only does he just promise it, he lived it. He lived it as a human. He went through the suffering and showed us the example on how to do it. So we're not alone in suffering. He's with us. In fact, he already beat it. He beat death. One thing that all humans are, one, afraid of,
Separated.
and two, are separated from God, death. But he united your death with life when you trust him.
Even the grave can't hold Jesus, boy. And
That's why he
this
rose
is
from
a
the dead.
parachute packed by Jesus himself that is 100% guaranteed to
To save
open
your
every
life.
time you jump.
So don't believe don't believe the
Beautiful.
lie. It is the biggest deceivement. That when it's the same example when you don't know the problem's there, you don't fix the problem. When I don't know that there's a problem within me, I do not confront that problem.
Right.
When you don't think the Satan's there, that is the problem itself, right there.
Then the world's just a playground, and that's what he wants you to think.
Because the time runs out,
Real quick.
and unfortunately,
You're,
It'll be too late.
Next question. You're whatever.
And this leads on to our next question, which is from our dear friend Eugene.
yeah, shout out to Eugene.
He asked you, he didn't know that you were going to be this person, but he asked you, if Jesus, right, was sitting next to you right now, what would you say to him?
Would you say to him? What would you ask him?
No, right? What would you say to him? That's what Eugene asked.
I would say thank you.
Yeah, that's the first thing you'd say.
How about if he was
Great answer,
What
love
would
it.
you ask?
He's not Jesus.
He gave his life, bro. I would turn and say thank you.
I could not take it.
I wouldn't be able to. I'd probably fall on my face and be like, why is everything so bright in here?
Yeah.
But if I could muster anything, because I'm sure the presence would be so awestruck, inspiring, and just, you wouldn't be able to. I wouldn't be able to think clearly. So if Jesus was sitting next to me, I would probably turn to him and go, and he'd be like, I know your heart, my son. I'm like, mine. So that's probably what would happen.
I think it's exactly how it would go.
That's exactly what would happen.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do it. My
Christian.
flesh would fail, and he'd be like,
What would you
I
ask?
know your heart, son.
but he know your heart, so it's fine.
Would you have any questions?
Would I have any questions?
what-
if I
what's
could
one thing-
actually ask him a
like
question.
one question.
One question and he'd answer for you.
Be serious though.
I know. Every time you see these pauses and I go into my head, it's me stopping myself from making horrible jokes. But just so you, inside baseball. If he,
That is a very deep.
if I could ask Jesus one thing, I would say, were you able to ever have a catch with your dad?
Bro.
Yes, you want to write that?
Wait, what?
Come on.
Every son has
No,
a
no,
catch
no,
with their dad. Did he ever get that play catch with his dad?
With Joseph the carpenter or his father in heaven? Which one?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Well, you know.
Okay,
God is his father.
whatever. Let's get to quote of the day.
No, I'm sorry. I made a joke and I did what I was literally telling my brain not to do, and I thought I was being serious.
It's
and
so
it
you
came out
gave
as
into
a
the
joke.
temptation.
I gave into
It's
temptation.
okay. Let's just do quote of the
Work
day, my
on
man.
it, right?
I'll tell you.
next guest.
I would ask
Okay.
him. I would ask him. I would say, what did it feel like knowing what you knew was gonna happen as you were walking through this world?
Okay. Interesting. Nice. Good question.
Because he knew.
Now you get to ask a question to a guest without knowing who it is.
I'm going to give him a real question this time. No park rules.
Yeah, please.
Whatever you want, man. Make them think.
Ba-bum.
Oh, I thought that was the question.
I know.
If you were able to obtain your wildest dreams and everything you've ever wanted, what would that look like?
Ever wanted. Okay. Well, okay. Is that it? Oh, nice.
What would that look like?
Oh, that's a good question.
Super open-ended. And then you can see like if someone's heart is wild or not.
Yeah, I'm gonna specifically emphasize wild.
Read back what I said.
If you were able to obtain your wildest dreams and everything you ever wanted, what would it look like?
Perfect.
So I'm gonna emphasize wildest dreams.
Yeah.
Wildest.
What is it?
Because what if they go, well, yeah, they go everywhere with that question.
All right, Christian, we have quote of the day and shout out to share at the end of the episode. We like our guests to specifically share quote of the day
QOTD.
and let us know what you think.
I actually am a fan of this quote.
I love this one.
I am. I was just letting everybody
Let's make it a
know
comment,
I like
brother.
it. Let everybody know I like it. No. Do not. All right. Quote of the day for the Bros Think Big podcast.
Just read the damn thing, bro.
Do not be conformed to this world. Shouldn't I say do not conform to this world?
That's right, bro.
Same
Trust.
thing.
Trust.
Do not conform to this world, but be transformed by renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and approve what is the good, pleasing, and perfect will of God. From the Bible, Romans chapter 12, verse 2.
I love this quote.
That was
It's a
straight.
very encouraging quote.
That was an exact quote from the Bible.
It might, dude. Now that I noticed it too, because I went in Google and then it was probably wrong.
No. That, as far as I know, what are you talking about? The words itself, the way it's aligned?
Yeah, I think it's a little wrong. Don't you think?
Uh,
It's got because Google got me confused.
Google's evil, bro.
I know.
Google is the G is a 6, the 2
Wait,
is a
wait,
6, and the other E is a 6.
Dude, I recently learned that, dude. That's
It's
crazy.
Roman
The
10,
sixes?
12,
Yeah.
Google?
Did you ever see the Chrome? I'll show you the Chrome too.
Oh, yeah, the Chrome. I'm talking about the Chrome. Google.
yeah.
So it says this.
Also, and I'll show you some more.
No, I won't have that one.
But wait, what are you guys trying to...
Symbology is everything for...
I'm just checking.
Dude, I don't think it's a coincidence.
So
It can be.
Yeah, Romans-
It's too much evidence for it to be coincidence. You can't just simply make up a logo without any idea on what do you want the logo to represent. It just doesn't
I
make
got it
sense
right
what
here.
I'm trying to say.
Yeah, look, it's right here, right? It says, do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God.
After the Gospels, there's Acts and then Romans. Yeah, it's very similar.
Oh, it's the same thing, yeah.
Very similar, yeah. It could just be from the Bible that is...
Do not be conformed to this world.
Different
version.
translations, yeah. Here, take this.
Yeah, it's right.
It's right, bro. I've read this so many times.
I told you I have a shirt that says social hazard, and on the back it says Romans, and it says do not conform to the patterns of this world.
Mikey, can you please do
One
the
of my
shout out?
favorite shirts.
Dude, that is a good...
One of my favorite shirts.
There you go.
Okay. Shout out. Becca Cultivate. Oh, wow, that's why you asked me to shout out. No, I don't know what it says. What does it say? What's
It says, yo, shout out Becca
Try your best.
Cultivate.
Yeah, right.
He said it.
Cultivate.
Becca
Kutiwadze.
Cultivate.
Say
Cultivate.
Christian. Becca
Becca
Kutiwadze.
Cultivate. I
Kutiwadze.
said it Italian.
Not Italian.
It's not
I
Italian. It's
said it
Georgian.
Italian, baby.
Say it.
He did say it
Kutiwadze.
Italian.
Cultivate.
Good.
Thank you.
So 8 minutes into the episode, and I can already tell that Eugene is a very wise man.
Amen.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
8
he
minutes in, yeah, and we were just, whoa.
Dude, the white long beard with white long hair just gives it away. That physical appearance itself also gives it
Yeah,
away.
very
Bro.
sage-like vibes.
Yeah, right?
Thank you so much, Becca Kotiwadze, for the shout out.
Thank you, bro.
Чигали Хармадлова.
Yo.
Sweet. And that's it. Thank you, Christian, for being on. It was a pleasure.
Oh yeah.
Let's just keep up with the streak of
Thank
you
you,
being
fellas.
like the most like
Hey.
reoccurring guest. If we ever have someone who goes over 4 times, we're gonna have you again just to beat the 5th time.
That
You know
would
what
be
I'm saying?
beautiful. Yo, it's an honor and a pleasure to you, the world. I'm glad I could speak to you guys and you could hear me. And it's always an honor and a pleasure sitting with these boys.
Yeah, it was
'Cause
really
these
fun.
are my buddies, my compadres, and very bright young
Brothers.
lights in this
Brothers.
dark world.
Mm.
Peace.
Yeah. But we gotta do our closing statement.
All right, they're going to close.
Ready?
You know what?
Do you remember?
What's our closing statement?
Oh, no.
Ooh.
Wait.
You're not coming on again.
Think big. Think a lot.
You're there, bro.
Think live.
Almost. You had it.
Yeah, think big. Think
No, think is only one time. It's only one time.
big. Do
Somewhere there.
think big.
You're there, bro.
Look at me.
Buffalo.
No, look at me. Look at me. Think big.
Be big. Go big.
Grow.
There you go. That only
Yes,
takes
that's
a couple
it.
tries. Took way too long.
Hard.
Thank you so much
Think
for
big.
coming on,
Go
bro.
big. Grow big.
Yeah, now you got it.
Think big.
Grow big.
Grow big.
Peace.
Grow big. Yeah, you got it.